Council resolutions. To sum up the discussion and to shed some more light on the issue, I now have the privilege and honor to request our keynote speaker, Mr. Moeed Yusuf, Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on National Security, for his kind remarks. Mr. Moeed is a well-known scholar and author. His book, Brokering Peace in Nuclear Environments, US Crisis Management in South Asia, is a must-read for anyone interested in geopolitics of the region. Sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Master Saab. Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone. First of all, I must apologize. I was supposed to start off the session, I believe, and there was some unavoidable commitment. The very reason that you're having this seminar today means that there are a number of activities that I was involved in, and one of them prevented me from joining as I promised. So my sincere apologies. I'm going to be very brief because I have been fortunate to listen to a number of speakers who have summed up a lot already and very well, including, of course, Jan Nasir Janjua, who not only has preceded me in speaking, but was also my predecessor in my job, and I'm still taking credit for everything that he had done while he was in office. So thank you, sir, for that. I'm going to shamelessly keep taking credit for all the good work you did as the NSA. But on a serious note, let me just make 5 points to you very quickly. First of all, what you may have had a chance to see over the last week, but especially yesterday and today, as Pakistan's message to the entire world, including to India, but most importantly to the Kashmiri people. There are two very clear messages people should take away. One, Pakistan's political and diplomatic effort on Kashmir is going to be aggressive and proactive. We are not going to have a policy of waiting, reacting, and being passive. Because there's only one country in this dispute between India and Pakistan that stands for truth, for justice, and for peace. So if somebody's got to hide, if somebody should be quiet, if somebody should be running away from the stage, it should be India, not Pakistan. And the first glimpse of that, not the first in that sense, but the first glimpse as far as August 5th was concerned, is the new political map of Pakistan. And without going into details, let me just say what it reflects. It reflects the aspirations of the people of Pakistan and the people of Kashmir. And it sends a clear signal. India tried to put out an illegal and rather laughable, I'm sorry, but rather laughable map last year in October, in which it claimed both Azad Jammu Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, claimed that it had become a neighbor of Afghanistan. This map clearly, solidly, unequivocally rejects it, puts out Pakistan's claim very clearly, reiterates that the UN Security Council resolutions are going to be the ultimate vehicle for settlement of this dispute. Pakistan has made clear that its people's stance on Kashmir remains unchanged and even more aggressive. In fact, I was just seeing one of the Saudi Arabian based newspapers very aptly put a headline saying Pakistan toughens its stance on Kashmir with a new map or something to that effect. Absolutely correct. Our stance has always been tough, but its reflection is going to be tougher and tougher. Second, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to internalize a very, very sad fact. The Pakistani Prime Minister spoke in the Azad Jammu Kashmir Legislative Assembly today, spoke to the people of Kashmir, inaugurated a resistance wall, resistance, i.e. the freedom struggle. And I saw the Indian Prime Minister trample Muslim sensitivities on the side of the Babri Masjid and triumphantly perpetrated the same divisive message, whose acutest example is in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The contrast couldn't be starker. Here is a country whose trajectory, very unfortunately, I mean, I'm sitting in a responsible position. As an adversary, I should be saying if another adversary wants to destroy itself, good luck. But I'm saying very responsibly because Pakistan wants no conflict in the region whatsoever. Unfortunately, the trajectory we are seeing is an impending disaster. In illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan always maintained that India's ultimate goal is demographic apartheid. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a domicile law whose goal is only one: bringing in illegal settlers and converting the Muslims into a minority. If the world is not going to wake up on this fact, after South Africa, I do not know of an example where this has happened so blatantly, and in this case, in such quick time. We are talking of a nuclear region with only one responsible nuclear party, because the other one is proving to be irresponsible every single day. I'm not here to plead, I'm not here to convince, I'm only stating a fact. It is a matter of time that illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is going to blow up, it's going to implode, it's against human nature. For people, and especially people who have fought tyranny of the Indian state for over 70 years, just take it lying down. Ladies and gentlemen, this will not happen. I know India will blame Pakistan. I know India will say all the things that it says every time. It has no legs to stand on, and nobody in the world believes it anymore. But not believing should translate into action of forcing India to reverse August 5th, 2019, forcing India to alleviate the human suffering and treat humans as humans. Forget whether they're Muslims or Hindus or Sikhs. Treat Kashmiris as humans. It is not happening. Let me also say at this point, the Indian press that is strangulated by the current regime, the very, very few voices that are still bold enough and courageous enough, and India's own citizenry that does not believe in the divisive ideology, in the rogue behavior of this ideology, itself today has written and spoken again and again that the so-called masterstroke of the Modi regime on 5th August 2019 has been a massive flop. If it wasn't, there would be no need to reimpose a full strict curfew on Yawm-e-Istisal in occupied Kashmir. two last observations. The path that Modi regime has taken in Kashmir has ironically brought Pakistan and the Kashmiris closer to their goal of liberation from India than ever before. Times Square was displaying Kashmiri struggle and freedom for Kashmir yesterday, today, and will do for a few days. The Modi regime, for those of you who don't know, tried to put up its projection of the puja of the so-called Ram Mandir puja that he went for today. They were refused. Le Monde in Paris, the UK Parliament, Marble Arch in London, news items, Washington Post, and multiple in the Gulf. This is not Pakistan speaking. The world is recognizing that we are headed for a disaster because of the open jail created in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. I'm glad that the sheen has worn off of the facade of shining India, exotic India, and whatever else was used to define the country. Today, the contrast between Pakistan and India is seen, heard, and known. But here is my last and most important point to all of you. Pakistan is not going to wait for partners. We have a lot of them, we're thankful to them, and one of them is the country hosting this seminar. But even if others don't join hands, Pakistan is speaking for Kashmir and Kashmiris. Pakistan will continue to do that, but Pakistan will now do it aggressively. Pakistan will do it in a way that within weeks and months, India will have nowhere to hide. You will see a concerted effort that has continued in the past, continue in the future. You will see a coherent and coordinated strategy, and you will see, ladies and gentlemen, inshallah, within no time, the world will be forced to force India to reverse August 5th and liberate Kashmir. I thank you, Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you very much, sir. We're deeply honored and grateful for your presence here tonight, sir. We know that you've had back-to-back commitments, and your gracing this occasion means a whole lot to us, Pakistani community here, and our Saudi friends who have been a part of this event. I cannot help but mention just a point or two, sir. Pakistan is a peace-loving country, like you have rightly put, and this coming from the National Security Advisor of Pakistan speaks volumes of Pakistan's good intentions. Thank you very much once again, sir. We're deeply honored. Ladies and gentlemen, as Ambassador of Pakistan to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I'm very grateful to all of you for your good presence here tonight. I would like to thank you wholeheartedly for your participation and your contributing your valuable time and, of course, your remarks. I'm confident that all such efforts will go a long way in highlighting the Indian illegal occupation of Jammu and Kashmir, its policies of demographic apartheid, as well as miseries of the innocent people to the international community. Soon, inshallah, Kashmiris will be able to achieve their right to self-determination.